I wish this guy could have stayed standing for a while longer, but he did get us the initial blast. You can see in these stills from the video that the blast cloud formed in probably less than 1/10 of a second. This reveals that the fortuitous photo taken by the college student caught the blast just as it occurred, and so reveals analyzable details. First, let's identify the positions of our photographers. It turns out that the runner who took the video was much closer to the blast than I had anticipated. No wonder he stumbled. David Green, who took the photo just after the blast and caught Jokar turning the corner, was easy to locate, and his position is not consequential to the actual bomb blast. But you can see from his photo that the smoke is not yet cleared, showing that Jokar was walking away from the direction of the second bomb site. The fortuitous photo was taken from the right side of the street further back. We can locate its position from a line of sight features. That is, two known objects that are directly in line with the camera aperture define a line. So if we have two sets of in-line known objects, we can locate the camera at the point where the two lines intersect. We already have one line, the curb, and I found several other lines all converging on the point where the camera was. Here are the positions of the three cameras, along with an approximation of their fields of view. This is hard to estimate since many photos on the internet are cropped. I used the widest one I could find for an estimate. Getting back to the explosion, the first anomaly is the identification of Jokar's backpack. Here's the relevant photo. As you can see from direct comparison, this is not Jokar's backpack. It may be the bomb, as we shall see, but it's not Jokar's. Where his backpack went, I don't know. Here is another candidate for the bomb bag. However, it's in place way too early. It's probably someone's lunch bag. I think I could smell tamales in there. It sure looks like tamales. At any rate, it appears to be gone near the time of the blast, as can be seen here. If that bag was still there, you'd be able to see white, right between this runner's legs. It just looks like the bricks of the sidewalk. No bright white plastic bag is visible. The next anomaly concerns the tree by the mailbox. Here it is standing while the FBI guys do their thing. But in this picture, it's been sawed down. Why? Why did the FBI chop down this tree during a crime scene investigation? If they wanted it for forensic analysis, why didn't they wait till the on-site investigation was terminated? The chop down must have to do with the blast residue on the trunk. They'd take this in to the lab to determine the exact direction, force, and reactance of the blast. Or they took it so that no one could see it, because it had evidence on it that did not comport with the party line. That is, if anyone could see it, they'd smell a rat. I can't say this is true, but the FBI is always suspect, because they are known liars, and are known on occasion to kill innocent people to further their agenda. Sorry, tree, you've been sacrificed to the New World Order. Perhaps you'll come back as an Illuminati toothpick. There is justified talk of a second explosion at this site. Here's a false color picture of the bomb going off. Note the two separate apparent blasts, one big in the back and one small in the front of or obscuring the mailbox. There's more. Let's identify some known objects, trees, businesses, light poles, etc. Of particular interest are the cornices on the building housing Starbucks. The light pole closest to the big tree lines up with tree number 1 from a camera angle of the fortuitous photo, and the signpost that's about 12 feet nearer to the camera than the mailbox lines up with tree number 4. From this we can draw a line of sight to the cornice from the camera and project it onto the building to the right of Starbucks. If we say the cornice of interest that's visible in the photo is the right door cornice, everything aligns correctly. If we say it's the right facade cornice, it doesn't work. Therefore, the cornice in the fortuitous photo is definitely the right doorway cornice. This cornice has smoke behind it, obscuring the right facade cornice, but there is no smoke in front of it. Tentatively, this could mean that a second bomb was detonated in front of Starbucks. If so, it would be simultaneous electronic detonations, with a big explosion behind Starbucks being just a noise and smoke device to augment the smaller but lethal bomb by the mailbox. If we have only one bomb, it must behave unusually, like a shaped charge, and blow down the street towards the race finish line, all the while expanding so that the smoke rises and gets behind that cornice. Remember here that this cloud is the blast cloud that formed in less than 1/10 of a second. It can't be wind-blown smoke or convection smoke. These types didn't have time to move more than a foot in 1/10 of a second. This is verified by the blast video taken by the runner. I looked for pics showing blast damage at Starbucks and found a few. Here you can see that the door is blown out and lots of glass is on the ground. If this blast occurred, it would have broken the glass by concussion. Any blast here couldn't leave shrapnel damage, or there'd be injuries here too. 2 blasts explains the damage more easily than 1 blast, but the case is not absolutely proven by the evidence I can see. Tentatively, I conjecture that there were 2 blasts at the given locations, one small real blast and the larger smoke and mirrors blast. Here's some further evidence for 2 bombs. This too is inconclusive. We have only general indicators. The last anomaly is the crowd fencing. You can see that one of the fence units is bent around the mailbox, and the smoke hasn't cleared yet. This bend couldn't be caused by a bomb in front of this fence unit. It could only be blown back the other way, away from the mailbox. Here you see fence unit number 2 is missing in action. Where did it go? My assumption is that a bomb behind the fence bent number 3 around the mailbox, while number 1 was stopped by the sign and fell over backwards on the rebound. Fence unit number 2 must have been blown across the street out of the picture. Surely it was there before the blast. Now it's gone. The backpack location denoted here is in a probable place, and it looks like the backpack in the street that presumably contained it. It's not Jokar's, but it may well be the smaller bomb. My present conclusions on the Boston bombings are that the first explosion by the finish line was all fake. The second bomb site had a genuine injurious bomb blast near the mailbox that killed and maimed, and at the same time another non-lethal blast occurred by Starbucks to make the whole thing look as big as the first fake bomb site. The FBI is like any other typical government organization, a pyramid with the controllers at the top and the minions on the bottom. Those at the top are all evildoers. Under them are all their competitors, rivals in evildoing. On the bottom are the rational and semi-rational people who come to work every day believing that their particular organization is doing good all over the place. Their good labor acts as an enabler for evil. Without these bottom people, those at the top would be incompetent, as all evil is, at base, fundamentally incompetent. As these lower minions discover that their leaders are evil, they quit or have less enthusiasm for the job. This weakens the organization and makes it stupid. The FBI, as well as the New World Order, is falling apart at the seams. It can't sustain itself unless most of the people believe that their leaders are good. But they aren't. And the people are discovering the truth with each new event.